If you clicked on this video, odds are you think there's more for your marriage.
So if you want to elevate your marriage, keep watching.
I'll be there when the lights don't shine. I'll be there in the sleepless nights. I'll be there, make you feel alright. I'll be there, I'll be there. I'll be there when the lights don't shine. I'll be there in the sleepless nights. I'll be there, make you feel alright.
Our world has corrupted us into thinking that marriage is somehow bad or stale or boring, and none of those things are right. We've been so surrounded by the idea that marriage is all of those things. And the reality is that we are not called to get married and live a boring life. We're called to get married and elevate our spouse. So what does it mean to elevate? It means to lift up. It means to make higher. It means to bring up their status. And all of those things are not for me. They're for my spouse and the way God designed her. So when it comes to lifting her up, it's not making her into the person that I want her to be. It's all about making her be exactly who God designed her to be. It's about lifting her up when she's down. This doesn't mean I'm supposed to control who my wife is and make her into the person that I desire her to be. What it's about is about making her and elevating her into the place that God designed her to be in. It's about encouraging her to be the person that God designed her to be. It's not about making her who I want her to be or who the world says she should be. It's all about encouraging her into the way that God designed her.
So what does it take to get out of the mindset and the idea of just settling for a mediocre marriage? The number one thing that's going to get you out of mediocrity is intentionality. So let's do this. We're going to take a little time to assess our marriage. I want you to think about these few questions and truly think about the answers. Don't just brush over them. I want you to think about, where are you in your marriage right now? What do you dream for your marriage to be? And what is getting in the way of you being able to achieve that dream? If you're having trouble coming up with answers to any of those questions, here's a few follow-up questions to help guide you. Let's start with the first one. Where are you in your marriage right now? On a scale of 1 to 10, how connected do you feel to your spouse right now? 1 being not connected at all, and 10 being like sky high, the best connection you've ever had. For the second one, where do you dream for your marriage to be? In a perfect world, what would your relationship with your spouse be? What would that look like? Be specific. And for the third one, what's getting in the way of you achieving those dreams? Think through specifics in your life. Is it social media? Is it TV? Is it friends? Is it your work? Is it your family? Is it your hobbies that you would prefer to do over spending time with your spouse? If you need to, take a couple minutes to pause the video so you can write all this stuff down and just compose all your thoughts together. Okay, once you have your number, here's what you need to do next. Think, how can I get to the next number? If you are a 3, don't think, how can I get to a 10? You want to think, how can I get to a 4? One step at a time. If you wrote down a 10, I'm so happy you feel that connected to your spouse, but I want to ask you one thing. Do you believe there could be more for your relationship even if it's already everything you expected? Here's what I want to warn you about. When we get into this place of comfort, what often happens is we fall into complacency, and our relationship suffers from that.
Now that we have a good understanding of what our marriage is right now and what we dream of it being, let's talk about exactly how to get from here to there. What is one thing you could do right now to elevate your spouse? I've got a few examples for you, but let me just tell you, they're gonna feel silly at first, but I promise they're a baby step towards the future that you both desire for your marriage. Do one of their chores for them without them asking and without trying to receive praise from them afterwards. Plan a date for this weekend for the two of you and really think about what your spouse would love to do, not yourself. The last example I have is actually super simple, and this is something you could do over dinner. It's simply ask a question from your spouse about something they're truly interested in and actually listen for the answer, because We know how this goes. I ask, and then she starts talking, and I zone out and start thinking about something else, or I pull my phone up and I don't actually listen. So really, ask a question, listen intently, ask follow-up questions. This will really make them feel loved and supported by you actually being interested in what they're interested in. Those are just a few examples. Obviously, you can come up with your own, but I just wanted to give you some base work so you could have something to work off of. What would be great for us is if you can take what you wrote down for what you're gonna do for your spouse this week, throw it in the comments section so that we can support each other. We would love to reply to your comment and just encourage you in taking one step to elevate your spouse.
As we take one step towards each other, naturally we're going to feel closer. When you notice your spouse making a point to go out of their way and get uncomfortable for you, celebrate it when you see it. Woo!
And I have one last thing to remind you guys of. Complacency is a choice, as is sacrifice. So why would we choose to ignore the needs and wants of our spouse when we can choose to do something about it?